Maya, a young homeless woman in her mid-20s with tangled dark hair, dirt-smudged clothes, and eyes that carried both sorrow and unbroken hope, wandered through the grimy alleys of a sprawling modern city, rifling through discarded trash for scraps to survive when an unusual sound caught her attention, a faint, desperate whimper coming from a nearby dumpster. And as she cautiously peered over the edge, she discovered a tiny infant wrapped in a thin, filthy blanket, shivering violently in the cold, abandoned with no note or hint of the parents, and instinctively, Maya scooped the baby into her arms, feeling a wave of maternal instinct and fear as she realized that saving this fragile life meant risking everything in a world that had never shown her mercy. She hurried to her makeshift shelter beneath a crumbling overpass, wrapping the baby in layers of scavenged blankets, whispering soothing words while tears streaked her dirt-stained face, pondering how she would feed and protect him while the sounds of the city sirens, distant shouting, and car horns echoed her fears of exposure and danger. And yet, amid the chaos, a sense of purpose surged through her, giving her strength she had never known, and naming him Liam, she began scavenging extra food and bottles, relying on the kindness of a few fellow homeless souls, like old Joe, a grizzled man with a heart hidden beneath scars, and a young runaway named Lily who offered what little she had. And each night Maya rocked Liam to sleep under the flickering streetlights, murmuring promises of safety in a world that had taught her harsh lessons about trust, while unbeknownst to her, Evelyn Hart, a glamorous billionaire in her mid-40s with sharp features and a commanding presence, paced anxiously through her high-rise penthouse after being contacted by the police about a suspicious abandoned infant found near the industrial district, feeling an inexplicable pull toward this case, while her husband Nathaniel, stern yet deeply caring, argued about logistics and security, and the story of baby Liam began to intertwine with the story of a woman who had been lost to the world for 25 years, a daughter kidnapped as an infant and presumed dead, whose identity had been hidden in shadowy corners of the city's underworld. And as Maya struggled to navigate life on the streets, she encountered Detective Alex Marino, a street-smart man in his late 30s who sensed there was more to her story than the worn clothes and scavenged meals revealed, and over time, he observed her intelligence, resilience, and unexpected grace, realizing she might hold the key to not just solving the case of baby Liam, but also a string of unsolved mysteries tied to missing children. And through a series of tense encounters, narrow escapes from aggressive gangs, stolen meals, near freezing nights, and subtle acts of betrayal by those she had tentatively trusted, Maya's bond with Liam grew unbreakable, his laughter and cries shaping her days and nights into a cycle of exhaustion, hope, and determination. While flashbacks of a life she could not remember haunted her in the form of recurring dreams of opulent rooms, a lullaby sung by a woman whose face she could not fully see, and a necklace with the family crest that had survived years of neglect and abandonment, lying hidden in her pocket after she had scavenged it unknowingly from a second-hand shop. And as Detective Marino pieced together her fragmented past, cross-referencing DNA files and old missing person reports, the tension escalated to a crescendo when Maya was confronted by shadowy figures demanding baby Liam, threatening violence, which forced her to run through rain-slicked streets and abandoned warehouses, demonstrating courage she had never known and a maternal ferocity that stunned even seasoned criminals, culminating in a final harrowing chase where Maya protected Liam with every ounce of strength, and the city itself seemed to hold its breath. Until Evelyn Hart arrived at the scene, guided by the detective, her presence commanding, her voice trembling with anticipation, and the moment their eyes met, a strange familiarity sparked recognition deep within both women, an emotional jolt, amplified when Maya instinctively touched the necklace hidden beneath her shirt, and Evelyn, overcome by a mix of shock, grief, and hope, embraced Maya, whispering words that unlocked decades of lost memory, revealing that Maya was indeed the long-lost heiress of the Hart fortune, taken from the hospital as an infant by a desperate kidnapper who had vanished into obscurity, and in that instant, the past and present collided, tears and laughter interweaving as Maya's life shifted from squalor to opulence. Yet she clung to her identity forged in hardship, determined to keep Liam close, creating a bridge between the world she had survived and the world she now inherited. While Nathaniel, cautious but relieved, observed her gentle authority with Liam, planning to integrate her into the family without erasing her hard-won resilience. And through heartfelt conversations with Detective Marino, Evelyn, and her parents, trusted advisors, Maya navigated the delicate balance of reclaiming her family legacy while preserving her compassion and streetwise sensibilities, ultimately facing a climax where a business rival attempted to exploit her newfound identity, forcing her to summon courage, intelligence, and the alliances she had formed, outmaneuvering the threat, exposing corruption, and securing not only her place in the Hart Empire but also ensuring safety for baby Liam and the homeless community she had left behind, culminating in a final scene of quiet triumph. Maya standing on the balcony of the Hart penthouse with Liam in her arms, the city lights sparkling below, reflecting on the journey from dumpster alleys to marble halls. A survivor transformed yet grounded, finally at peace with her past, aware that her compassion had saved a life and her own life had been saved by love and truth, her heart full, the story closing with a sense of fulfillment, hope, and a powerful reminder that destiny can unfold in the most unexpected of ways.